Ralph Young. I'm a professor in the history department, and I teach a course called Dissent in America. For many years, I have felt that dissent is one of the major driving forces in American history, that this country was founded by dissenters, that dissenters and protesters have pushed the country in the direction, generally speaking, of more rights, more freedom, more equality. Protest, it's the fuel for the engine of change, for the engine of progress. Once you get a society that's established, a certain kind of inertia sets in, and the powers that be don't really want to change. They've got the power, they're happy with that. For example, in the 19th century, people who were opposed to slavery really began pushing, winds up solving the issue. Women would not have got the right to vote if they hadn't demanded it. The Jim Crow laws in the South would not have been overturned if people hadn't protested. And these things pushed the society to acknowledge the fact that there was a problem, and then to finally to address that problem. What I try to do in the course is to make sure that students read the documents of the dissenters.
When you say read the documents, how is that different from just reading a textbook?
Well, these are the words of the people who are making history themselves, not the words of historians writing about them. I put together, this book, Dissent in America. Here, there's the cover.
That's your book.
That's my book. Yeah, it's. I have written introductions to all the documents, and I've written contextualizing essays for each period in American history, so students can understand what's happening in the broader scope of American politics and society at the time. I have, from Martin Luther King's letter from the Birmingham jail. I have Timothy Leary's advocacy of using LSD to open your mind. We have petitions and letters by Indians complaining about the way they're treated by the English and then later the Americans. I have the Unabomber Manifesto. I have Cindy Sheehan's speeches denouncing the war in Iraq. So many different documents. I think one of the really important things about studying history in any course on history is that you see the relevance of the past with today and with our contemporary lives. When they start understanding how American history is unfolded, they start to see more clearly into themselves. It's kind of, for me, it's a path to self-knowledge, to self-realization, to see how we are all products of history in a way, in the sense where each of us are kind of a link in the chain of events that ties us to the past. One of the projects they can do for the class is to go through a list that I've compiled of all the various dissent organizations that have a chapter in Philadelphia, whether it's Amnesty International or Planned Parenthood or the American Civil Liberties Union, so many different organizations. One of the assignments is for the students to do research into that protest organization.
What are you trying to get the students to experience, or what's your philosophy of teaching?
I think my basic philosophy of teaching is that I want to get the students to be enthusiastic about the subject. If they get enthusiastic about it, they're really going to be teaching themselves. I mean, I can lecture, I can fill in a lot of facts, I can give them information, but if they can look into the past, into history, and feel a desire to learn more about the events that I bring up in the classes, then I feel that that's what my job is, to get them to want to learn this stuff. My attitude is to allow the students to explore in whatever direction they want to go with a topic, with some kind of reeling them back in once in a while.
Do you like teaching?
Oh, I love teaching. It makes my day.
Is there something that you hope for your students years down the line after having taken your course?
I want them to realize that one of the highest goals in life is to live your life authentically, to find out what it is that is in you, just as Thoreau urged back when he wrote Walden, and to go for your own dream, as Thoreau put it. If you follow in the steps of your own dream, nature success and that you will seldom find in common hours. Not that you will always achieve everything that you want to achieve in life, but you know that the achievements you made are your own because you're working for them.